Hello Capricorn, my name is Jason. This is your mid-February 2019 general tarot reading. So it could be about love, career, any questions at the forefront of your mind. You get the idea. If this is not resonating for you, please check out my readings for your moon and rising signs. I'm pretty sure one of those will be fairly spot on. But for now, let's see what comes out. Okay, Capricorn, you go into the second half of February with the King of Swords. Okay, so if this is your energy, you are feeling fairly stable, fairly logical, and you perhaps have some tasks to do which require you to think that way. So this is a great energy for you to have. You might have to make some pretty harsh decisions about what needs to stay in your life and what needs to go. You may be offered some employment, or perhaps you're between jobs right now or looking at different career alternatives, and something might come up, I'm feeling, and maybe you'll have a couple of different offers and you'll need to decide which are important to you, which are the pros and cons. And I'm not thinking that money is a main concern for you at this stage, Capricorn. I'm thinking that you're really wanting to follow your passion, and you're going to have no problem at all just cutting out what you think is not for you, if you know what I mean. But we'll clarify that. But it's a pretty solid energy, really. It's if you need to make a decision, the King of Swords is a good energy to have surrounding you. Okay, your challenge, you have the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so at the moment, perhaps you're having quite a good time just doing what you're doing, having a taste of everything, I'm feeling, but this situation can't continue. If you want your ships to come in, you see those ships out the back there on the rocky waters at the moment, you're going to have to drop one of those things to go and guide those ships in, if you like. So opportunities coming for you, and the challenge will be to figure out what to drop. Okay, and I'm pretty sure you know how to do that. As I said, with the King of Swords, that energy that you have around you. And something else will come to me for that one, I'm pretty sure. Okay, but look, a pretty comfortable position to be in. It just means that you will have to, when this offer comes in, you will have to figure out what you're going to drop. Okay. Best attitude position, you have the Hierophant. Oh, sorry, not the best attitude. This is your hopes and fears. So in your hopes and fears position, you have the Hierophant. So I'm thinking this might be a fear, actually. You're a little bit worried that you might be tied down somehow by rules and procedures, or by systems which you're trying to get away from. So whatever you were doing previously, if you're between jobs or you're looking at another job, you're trying to get away from this very regimented, traditional way of doing things. And so you're hoping that you don't end up back in this cycle. Okay, I'm also feeling that you might have some government departments to deal with some way, and you're just not looking forward to standing in line, filling out paperwork, that kind of thing. Could be about licensing or permissions or contracts, and I'm just seeing a lot of filling out of forms and really sort of bureaucratic ways of doing things. For your best attitude. All right, now the best attitude here in this position, you have the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords, no one's going to be asking you to tie yourself up and see yourself as a victim, which is the traditional meaning of the Eight of Swords here. What I'm thinking is that you need to get out of this, okay? So you need to realize that you can get out of it. Okay, if you have a look at this character here, yes, they are bound and blindfolded, surrounded by swords, but look, how easy is it for her to just lean up against a sword, or even just wriggle out of these binds that she's in, wriggle out of there, take the blindfold off so she can see the truth and see the light and do it that way. So you're being asked here to not feel as though you're bound. So realize that you have the power, Cappy. You are in charge of your life. Um, you can take all comers. Okay, whatever the world throws at you, you are in a pretty good position now to be able to just handle it, deal with it quite confidently. Any of that emotional stuff, it'll just be water off a duck's back to you. Any tough decisions, you'll be able to back yourself. Okay, and sometimes no decision is worse than a bad decision, is what I'm feeling here. So you won't want to be sitting around too long waiting for the extra information to come in, or if you've got a week to decide on something, you're not going to bother with that. You're just going to take a look at things and cut out what doesn't work and just move on. So I'm feeling that, yeah, you take that attitude that you are the one in control, and I'm feeling you have been doing that, and it's really been working for your personal growth, Capricorn. You've really got this new awakening, this new sense of responsibility and accountability to yourself only. In the outcome position, you have the Chariot. Okay, so the Chariot card talks about moving forward, victory, making things happen through sheer determination. It also talks about individuality. So you're going to be moving full steam ahead on your own, okay? In total control, feeling pretty good. So that's what I was saying here about your empowerment. This is a great card for just feeling empowered and being in control and getting things done. Okay, really strong card there, Cappy. I love it. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to clarify these now with the Hanson Roberts deck, and we'll see what comes out. So what's this King of Swords about? How can we narrow this down a little bit? Why is the King of Swords here for Capricorn and the opening of their spread? What's all this about for Cappy? Why is the King of Swords here for Capricorn the second half of February 2019? We've got the Lovers. Okay, yes, a choice to make. So remember I talked about making choice and not having a problem making choices. This is a card of making choices. The Lovers card can also be about someone coming across your pathway who might just get your interest somehow. But I'm really feeling that this is about making a decision one way or another, and you'll be able to do that no problem. But it's also about respecting the independence of others. So whatever decisions you make, you might have to just keep in mind that other people's independence and other people might be affected by your decisions generally. But look, I think this is a good card, and it's saying, yes, you're going to have no problem making these choices. If it is about lovers, fantastic. Perhaps there's your newfound confidence. People will be noticing this new awakening that I've talked about. Someone's going to sort of be looking at you, and they're seeing how resilient you are. I'm getting the sense of resilience coming through, and people might have seen you around town in several different roles, and they're probably thinking, wow, this person doesn't fit into one pigeonhole. I'm thinking perhaps it's someone that you've known around town, but they like you met them once and they pigeonholed you and put you into some kind of a box. Don't you hate that? And but then they've seen you in a couple of other things. Maybe you've got some social media exposure somewhere, or they've seen you in a different context or dressed differently, and it changed the whole way they sort of looked at you, and now they might be making signals towards you. Well, I hope they are. It feels great when people sort of find you interesting and they're confident enough to let you know that. So that's what that's about. I think it's about, you'll have no problems making decisions, but if it is about, a soulmate coming in or a really ideal partner, something could be happening for you in the next couple of weeks if it's not happening right now. Okay, let's have a look at the Two of Pentacles. Why is the Two of Pentacles here in this position, in the challenge position for Capricorn? Please clarify the Two of Pentacles for Capricorn for mid-February 2019. You have, it's clarified by the Hierophant again. Okay, so yes, so it looks like you're going to have to deal with some kind of government departments, bureaucracy, rules, procedures, maybe educational things, perhaps lawyers, if there's some contracts with lawyers, or I'm feeling that there's a legal matter might be coming to a head now, or a contract finally gets to be signed, or the money or the goods have finally been delivered, something like that. Okay, and that's going to allow you to let these ships come in. So remember we had a problem here with juggling this thing almost indefinitely. Yes, you could go on indefinitely, but soon now this cycle is going to be broken somehow, and you won't be able to do that anymore because of some decision that's been made by this large institution, or driven by this large institution. And it's going to allow you to follow your dream, I'm feeling. So you've got some plans and you've been sitting on them for a while, developing them, and this is another step in that process, but it's going to be really liberating for you, I'm feeling. That's great, because you're going to be freed up somehow. Now, the Hierophant in the hopes and fears position. So remember, I've talked about sort of being bound by a system which you're trying to get away from, perhaps, like, again, church, education, some kind of legal procedures, government departments. You might have to be sitting around on the phone or something like that. Let's have a look. Why is a Hierophant here in the hopes and fears position for Capricorn, mid-February 2019? You have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, okay, so this is going to allow you clarity. So whatever decision comes, it's finally getting here. Money's finally in the bank. It's going to let you start again or move forward with clarity. No more waiting around. So this is a pretty important period for you, Capricorn. I'm feeling this. It's like you'll be able to cut this cord once and for all, and then you really are a free agent. So fantastic. And no more of this being bound by the waiting and waiting and waiting for whatever. Let's find out what, to clarify the Eight of Swords here in the best attitude position. Actually, I'll take that because it fell out, and it's the Two of Cups. Okay, so you're going to be allowed to follow your passion. Okay, this, whatever's been going on here, you're really now going to be able to follow your true passion. Okay, you're going to get out of life what you put into it. Reason I'm saying that is that you see between the two lovers' heads there's the staff goes up with the two snakes wrapped around it. That caduceus, that's an ancient trade symbol, talked about equal give and take. Okay, and this relationship is protected by this winged lion here. You see how the wings are covering the two over the top of them. So look, it's looking like once all this is out of the way, you'll be able to follow your passion somehow. And because you have the Lovers and the Two of Cups in the same reading here, perhaps the right person for you is finally coming along. Okay, it's feeling pretty good that way, but it's more about, for me, it's really feeling as though you've got a fresh start coming. So what a great reading. And look, in the outcome, the Chariot card. This is a card of Cancer. This is a card of really being able to move forward confidently, being in control, victory. Look, why is the Chariot here? Please clarify the Chariot for Capricorn. There might be a Cancer in the mix. Maybe there's a Cancer coming toward you, perhaps a business partnership. If this is a creative venture, some kind of musical venture or words or something coming through here. Let's have a look. Why is the Chariot here for Capricorn mid-February in the outcome position? A whole bunch have come out. I'm just going to take that first one that came out there. Okay, and you have the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so the Five of Pentacles can talk about being left out in the cold, but it also can talk about just going out on your own, doing something unconventional. So whatever you were doing before, it's like now you've left this organization for good. You've left the church and you're out on your own. And I'm feeling that you're quite okay with this. You don't have any problem at all with just going out and doing it. And so look, what a great feeling, Capricorn. I'm not feeling that I need to clarify any more of these. It's looking like something's finally coming to a head after quite a long time, and it's going to be a real period of liberation here. If it's not the end of February, very soon, probably early March, I'm feeling that this is just around the corner. So I'd really love to get some feedback on this if this is resonating for you. So please leave me a comment and like and subscribe to my channel, of course. And hopefully I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. So thanks for watching and talk soon.